Welcome guys, if you have followed my channel, you may watch the 6 must-do video for TOEFL. Honestly, I'm not happy with it because it was my second video. Looking back, I could have done better. And after getting questions from you guys every day, I have new ideas about this topic. So I'm gonna talk about 10 must-do things to prepare for TOEFL. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Let's go! Number 1 is to know your TOEFL level. Most of you take TOEFL for getting jobs or applying for colleges, and the score required will be your goal. So the first step is to know how far away you are from your goal. This is what you need to work on for the next 1 or 2 months. Take a mock exam, but you don't need to time yourself since this is your first try. Just take your time and try your best to answer all questions. The goal is to get a general idea about your TOEFL level. Some of you may ask, how do I know my speaking and writing score since no one grades them? Taking a mock exam is only to get a general idea about the TOEFL exam and your level. You want to see the big picture. So I highly suggest you go through the 4 sections of TOEFL. At least you know how the speaking and writing are like. Number 2 is to set up study plans and register for TOEFL. Of course, I'm not saying to register for TOEFL immediately. You should register when you feel half ready. There are huge differences before and after registering. Before registering, I always had excuses not to study because I knew that I still had time. But after paying over $200, things are totally different. TOEFL became my priority. Set a deadline and push yourself a little bit. Besides, there are only limited time slots and seats every day. Check the deadline for your college or job applications and register early. As to the study plan, it related to points number 3 and 4. Number 3 is about the order of how you handle the 4 sections. Most people like to practice reading and listening first since it's easy to get started with multiple choice questions. But the truth is, listening and speaking are hard to improve in a short time compared to reading and writing. Especially there are many integrated tasks in speaking and writing that require your listening skills. Many people told me that they didn't understand the listening in the speaking section, so they had less thing to say. I suggest practicing listening and speaking as early as you can and pick up reading and writing along the way. Number 4, you must know the requirements and question types for each section. TOEFL is a standardized exam. All questions are designed the same way and display certain patterns. If you do the same type of questions over and over, you will start to realize they are similar. I often practice a whole reading passage at the beginning, but I got most of the questions wrong. Then I started to practice the same type of reading questions first and kept practicing them for a while. After some time, I would figure out the patterns and was able to develop strategies to improve my score. Just like learning a sport. Take tennis as an example. You will obtain muscle memory after practicing the same stroke again and again. Your brain will remember how to solve the same type of questions every time you see them. So developing muscle memory for the problems is important in an early stage. And the more you are familiar with the questions, the faster you can finish. Number 5 is to prepare templates for speaking and writing. I didn't know this, so I practiced speaking and writing without using a template. It didn't work well because I often ran out of time. Using templates saves you a lot of work. For example, integrated writings template takes up almost half of your writing. Check out my templates in the description below. Practice more on using the templates and fill in the blanks. Number 6 is to set a shorter time when practicing. You guys often ask me how to finish TOEFL in time. Set a shorter time than the actual exam time and push yourself to do it faster. Let's say you have 54 minutes for reading in the actual exam. Only give yourself 50 minutes or even shorter to finish the same amount of reading. Apply this method to other sections as well. If you can't finish in time, just make an educated guess. No need to be perfect. Remember, you are just practicing. Get it wrong won't cost you anything. After practicing a few times, you'll be faster and time becomes slower when doing TOEFL. Number 7 is to practice on mock exams. Simulate the environment exactly like the actual exam. Do a mock exam on a computer. If you plan to take the home edition test, prepare a whiteboard and find tip markers. Or prepare a thin mouse or get used to a mechanical keyboard if you will take it at the test center. Allocate about 4 hours to do the mock exam so that you can experience the time pressure. I felt so tired after finishing the whole test at the first time, but I got used to it and felt better after practicing a few times. Number 8 is to practice on different materials. You will never know how difficult TOEFL will be until your exam day. It's always better to practice on different materials. I practiced on these materials to get used to the exam. Their levels were different. If you only practice on one material and that's easy, you will get into big trouble like me. I mainly practice speaking on testguider.com since it can grade my speaking, but its speaking practices were too easy. I often got high scores, so I overestimated my speaking abilities. On the exam day, I found the speaking section was much more difficult than TestGuider, but it was too late. Number 9 is to improve your English skills. TOEFL is an English test. People who get a really high score in a week already have great English skills. They only need to be familiar with the exam. I had not used English for about 10 years before taking TOEFL, so I need to get used to TOEFL as well as improving my English. Try to involve yourself in English and practice English as much as you can. Listen to passages with a faster speed, or read English articles, or even watch English movies or listen to English songs. The final one is to always keep confidence in yourself. I know how painful it is to prepare for TOEFL, especially when you get a low score at the beginning. I got only 3 points in reading at my first mock exam. Don't give up. Make good use of my tips and strategies and keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. Your English will improve a lot after taking TOEFL, which will help your study in the future. Trust yourself and you can make it. You already know more about TOEFL than I did when I first started. Get ready and let's beat TOEFL. Please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See ya.